Hello YouTube. I came across this video and was intrigued by it. I started to try to use logic, deductive reasoning, empathy to dissect it. And I'm not going to explain the whole history of this. This is the Elisa Lam video. And if you don't know about it, you can just look it up on Wikipedia. There's entries about it and read all the back history and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into the history of it here. I'm just going to dissect the video and that's it. I hope I can make it under the YouTube limit of time, which I doubt. Alright, well, this is the stance that people are familiar with. I'm going to set the video right back to the beginning, and we're going to start from the beginning. The video is 3 minutes and 59 seconds long, and we're going to start right from 00. Let's see, right here, the door's closed, the video starts. Let's start it. Door opens up. And I'm going to pause it after the door opens. Okay. She starts to come into frame, and the door is opening. She comes into frame. Now watch how she comes into frame. Watch this foot in particular. Her right foot. When she first plants her right foot, it slides a little bit, showing that she is in a hurry moving this way. I should also say that I believe that this hallway continues down in this direction, and that there's another hallway that continues up over this way somewhere. And perhaps goes down this way also. So like this is one big long hallway, and another hallway proceeds this way from this point of view. You can't see my mouse movements. Alright, let me try that again. There's a hallway here, and there's a hallway to the left that goes this way. Down the hallway, down straight forward from where this elevator is showing at. Alright, so let's continue. I'm going to back it up to see her foot come into frame, and watch her foot as it slides, showing that she has a quick pace coming into frame. She has a quick pace. And she's turning and leaning, and it shows just a quick pace. So let's start it again. Elevator opens, watch the foot. Comes in, slides, and she's showing a quick pace, but then her pace right around here quickly slows down because she reached her destination. She thinks she's a little bit safer now. Her pace slows as she goes in. Now she goes in and she does this wide sweep with her arm. Let's watch that again. Wide sweep with her arm, and she goes to hit the elevator buttons. The way I figure it is that she's feeling a little bit relieved, and she does this exaggerated twist with her arm, thinking to herself, "Whew, I got to get out of here. Finally, I'm getting out of here." And she does this wide exaggeration as a sense of a little bit of relief within herself that she finally made it and she's getting out of here. She leans over, she starts to press the buttons. Now this leaning over gesture, look at her posture. That is what's known in psychological fields as a type of fetal gesture. She's bending over, she's afraid of something. She's pulling herself in, she's putting her left arm in front of her, right here. She's putting her left arm in front of her, and she's bent over in this fetal type position. Now this is one explanation of a fetal tightening up of herself to self-comfort and so forth, which is a psychological explanation. The other possible explanation I thought of would be that she has either eyeglasses or contact lenses, and she was in such a hurry she did not take them, which she can't see the numbers on the elevator panel. So she's leaning over to try to get a better look for the numbers. But I think it's the fetal gesture posture that is the one that I'm more inclined to think that it is. So then she presses a whole bunch of numbers, and in descending order, if the elevator is like any other elevator I know. She pressed 5, if you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 here, and she pressed 1 over here somewhere. Well, whatever she pressed, and she continues to press. Let's watch. She continues to press, and then she backs away. Now, I don't know what she pressed as the last one. She pressed 1 over here, 4 down here, and something below it. I don't quite see a light below it. Maybe it was a closed door thing, or maybe she accidentally hit this door stop, or to reopen the door, or maybe even the elevator halt or emergency stop or something like that, which might have messed up why the elevator never closed. Or somebody else, somewhere else, could have stopped the elevators from functioning for whatever reason, or this particular elevator. So let's go back a little bit and just watch her hitting those numbers. Let's go actually further back. I want to see how many numbers she hits. Not that it's all that important. She probably is on a top floor because as the elevator goes down at the end of the video, these lights disappear and they go out as each floor is reached. So she is on a top type floor, and the elevator is descending from there. So let's just watch her push the buttons and continue on. Alright, she backs up. Now, as she's backing up, I'm going to play that. Notice that the door, watch this, I'm going to go back and you watch. Watch this door, it starts to close. It closes briefly and then reopens. As she's already away, the door doesn't even start to close until she's away. So let's watch that. Be careful and watch the elevator door as she moves away. See, it's closing. She's already away and it's closing. And there is its full extension. Here, let's go back. Its full extension is roughly around there. She's already away from the door before it starts to close. Now it starts to close. So she's already away from the door. Something happened. Now notice her reaction here. Watch her reaction. We'll go back. Watch when she backs up. She feels a little bit relieved. She's waiting for the door to close. She sees it start, and then it stops, and then she tenses up. Watch her arms. Her arms start to swing as she backs up, thinking, okay, here we go. I'm going to get out of here. And then she sees the door close, and she tenses back up again. She stiffens her arms. They stop swaying. Watch all of this. I'll play it a couple times, and you can watch how she backs up and tenses and watches the door, swinging her arms, and then when she sees the door close, she tenses up. So let's watch. Let me go back a little further. Backs up, door closes, she sees it reopen, and now she tenses up. See her arms, they swang, but then she pauses here. That's a oh damn type pause. That's like, oh my god, what's going on? She pauses, and it's like, uh-oh, and now she's afraid to move for an instant. Let's go back and watch it again a little bit more. Pulls back, arms swaying, door closes, and she's like, uh-oh. And she freezes for a second. And then she gets a little bit of guts to bend her head forward and start to move forward. See that? She's knowing something is going wrong here. So she bends her head forward. And then she starts to move forward. Because she wants to see what the heck is going on with this elevator door. Why isn't it closing? Tenses, bends her head forward, starts to move forward tentatively. Very shyly moving forward, afraid of something, and peeks out real quick, turns to the right, turns to the left, and then quickly comes back in, hoping that she wasn't seen. She was afraid to actually look out. She's hoping she wasn't seen. Let's go back and look at that again. Tenses, moves forward slowly. Oh my God, is somebody out there? Oh, quick, and then back. And then she stands up straight. This type of gesture of her both looking out real quick. She's afraid of something. She comes back in and she stands up straight like a little girl, all innocent, putting her hands down straight, kind of in front of her a little bit, like, oh, I wasn't seen. I hope I wasn't seen. I hope I wasn't seen. Let's go back and look at that again. Pops out, comes back. Oh my God, I hope I wasn't seen. That's kind of what I'm thinking she's doing right there. Now, she either hears something or she did see something when she looked out. I'm thinking she heard something to the left. So she backs up, and then she hears something, moves over to the left to see what it was. And she does see something or hear something. I'm thinking it's coming down from that hallway that I assume is coming just to the left of the elevator that goes up in this direction. She sees something or hears something. I'm thinking hears. And then somebody's getting closer, so she moves out of the way so that they can't see her. She takes herself out of view of that hallway. She presses herself up against the door, well, up against the panel, and she waits for whoever it is to pass by, kind of holding her breath, holding her hands, another self-comfort gestures, hand-holding like that. She presses herself back up against the elevator and she waits. She's paused. She's probably barely breathing, just trying to listen what's going on. She's not even looking towards the hall anymore. She's just listening real intently. Now she's looking down, trying to figure out what's going on. She was looking up a second ago, and then she starts to look down because she can't really see nothing. She's just listening. She's looking to, from our perspective, the left, to her perspective, to her right, out to the hallway. And whatever it is, she finally thinks it's past, so she goes to look, kind of a little tentatively, peeks out a little bit. Is there anybody there? She goes back further, doesn't see nothing. Continues out, and still she's worried about something out there. She's looking around, and she finally, well, let's watch. She kind of gets the guts to step out a little bit. She's very scared here, is my impression. She steps out just a little bit. She looks, peeks. Now here, she's afraid. This whole time she's afraid. And what people will do is they'll go in, they will look at what experiences, life experiences, have taught them how to deal with certain situations. If she is in fear of her life, the situation she's dealing with right now is not something she's used to. So what she's doing, she's calling upon what she does know of experiences like this, which would be like TV, movies, stuff like that. And she's going to exaggerate her movement. The next movement's going to be an exaggerated movement, like, aha, I have to jump out, I have to face this, I have to see what's down there. So she does this, and she does this weird jump, like, okay, finally, I got to see what the hell's down there. She forces herself to go out in this like exaggerated type motion, but notice that she's still kind of bent over. Her hand's still in front of her. Very almost like in a fetal position. She's looking down the hallway. She's afraid. Let's continue. She straightens up because she doesn't see nothing. She's feeling a little bit relief here. She steps to the side. This is not because of drugs, alcohol, or erratic behavior. What she's doing is she's trying to see down that hallway. There's a hallway in front of her to the left that runs straight down, like from where she's at right now, her stance, straight as perpendicular to where her positioning is. So she's moving over to the left. That's not enough. So she takes another step over to the left to see further, and then she doesn't like her being out there. She feels a little bit vulnerable, so she steps back in. It's another self-comfort. She quickly steps back in because she's like, I don't feel like being out here. But she needs to know. She needs to know, so she goes back out. And again, she's trying to go to the left so she can see what's going on down there. And this is actually, she moves right all the way out of frame. Notice she takes these steps, little tiny steps. Let's do that again. She takes these little tiny steps to further see herself further and further down to the left. She's doing it in little progressions. And notice that what she just did there. She backed up real quick. She's out of frame. She comes back real quick. Like, uh-oh, did somebody see me? She came back in. You can see she just, like, kind of jerked back in the frame. Let's watch the whole thing. Moves back in for self-assurance. Comes back out. I have to see what's to the left. I have to see what's to the left. Moving. She's a little bit, something scares her out there. She comes back in and stops in a startled motion. All right, so let's continue. She drops her arms like, oh my God, what am I going to do? That's what I'm getting the sense out of here. I think both arms actually dropped to her side. Like she just released a little bit. Like, what am I going to do? She held up this fetal tension, the tension in front of her, and she just released it a little bit like, oh boy, I'm screwed. There's nothing I can do here. So she releases her arms and they sway by her side. Let's watch that again so you can see that kind of gesture. Let's go back even further. Jumps back in, scared or something, releases like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then put your hands on top of her head. And it's both hands, and you'll see why in a minute. You can only see the right elbow going up to her head. But I believe it's both hands are on top of her head. In a gesture that says, oh my God, I'm screwed. I can't believe what's going on. I can't believe I'm in this situation. I'm screwed. She's getting very disgusted now. You can see that even as she walks back in. She throws her hands up in a gesture of surrender, almost like a hold-up situation. Like a stick up, a hold up, put your hands up. But that's not what's happening. She's just that frustrated. Notice that both hands are on top of her head as she's coming in. See, both hands are on top of her head? She's afraid of something. She's just looking as like, oh my God, what am I going to do? This is a dire situation. I can't deal with it. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm in this situation. So she puts her hands up like, and now here's the thing that's coming in. There's two things to look at here. One is her hands are up like, oh, I can't believe what's going on. I can't believe it. I surrender. What's going on with me? I surrender. I can't take this. I can't take this. But now here's the other important thing to look. Look at her posture, but especially look at this foot. This is very, very, very